Many of us have grown up with something called the Golden Rule.
Congressman Paul, 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds to respond, since you were mentioned.
My point is if another country does to us what we do others, we're not going to like it very much. So I would say that maybe we ought to consider a golden rule in foreign policy. Don't do to other nations what we don't want to have them do to us.
In economics, we tend to be a bit less moralistic than Ron Paul. And so when we talk about the Golden Rule, what we are really doing is focusing on consumption per capita. So far, almost everything we've said has been about capital per capita or output per capita. But how well off people are really depends on how much they consume, not the total production in the economy. So to look at the Golden Rule, what we ask is this question: what level of capital accumulation, or equivalently, what savings rate, will maximize lifetime consumption per capita? And that's the equivalent of steady state consumption per capita. So remember that consumption is just the difference between output and savings. And that can be written in terms of the production technology as TFP times K to the alpha. So this is total output. And then remember that the fraction S of that is going to be saved. So this then is savings. And then if we use the steady state relationships that we have derived, what we can do is turn to this relationship, which has to hold in steady state. And what you remember from the bathtub is that this is saying that inflows have to equal outflows. Okay, so then, as always, we'll do things in at least two different ways. First way is going to be mathematical. So steady state consumption, again, remember per capita, can just be expressed using equation 20. And then the question becomes, how do we choose steady state capital in order to maximize steady state consumption? Well, we do that by, as always, differentiate consumption with respect to capital and set that thing equal to 0. And if you do that, what you'll end up with is the Golden Rule, which is simply going to be that you equate the marginal product of capital to this n plus delta. Okay, so the Golden Rule mathematically is given by equation 21. And what you'll see is that there's a very strong connection between thinking about the Golden Rule, which maximizes consumption, and the firm that was maximizing profits choosing labor in the first set of notes that we looked at.